begin.
Hello everyone, we're from Group 3.
Hi!
So in this occasion, we will explain to you the principle of language assessment. But before that, we will introduce ourselves. My name is Marika.
My name is Dita.
And I'm Effie.
My name is Daniel.
I am Izan.
My name is Dewi. I'm Putri.
So let's start our presentation. So the first principle of language assessment is practicality. So an effective task is practical. It means there are some characteristics that show that the task is practical. The first is not expensive. So this means if you're doing a task and it costs too expensive, then it means that your task is impractical. And then it doesn't take too long. So the task doesn't take too long, maybe 1 until 2 hours, something like that. And then easy to be managed, and the test should easy to be corrected. So it's easy to be ranked, to be measured, and something like that. Thank you.
Okay, so the next principle is about reliability. A reliable test is consistent and dependable, and it influenced by 4 factors here. The first one is student-related reliability. So the common issue in reliability is caused by maybe temporary illness, fatigue, anxiety, and anything else about physical and psychological of the students. So it means that student-related reliability is about the students itself. So here, students have to have a strategies to avoid those kinds of conditions. And then the next is writer reliability. So here, it is about the teachers. I mean about the test scorer, and it influenced by maybe about the subjectivity of the teacher and also the human errors of the test scorer. For example, when a test scorer are scoring the test and they have to score many of tests, so they maybe feel exhausted, and when they feel exhausted, they will be score incorrectly, right? So here, the teacher have to avoid this kind of condition. And then also the subjectivity of the teacher can may cause unreliability. For example, if the teacher doesn't like the students, and the teacher give bad score to the student, so it will influence the score of the student and make it unreliable. And then the next one is test administration reliability. So here, it is about the tools for supporting the test. For example, if the students will be using tape recorder, means that the class will have a listening class, right? So when doing a listening class, they have to be focused on listening, but they may have a street noise outside the class. So it will make the students inside do not focus on doing the test. So the teacher have to avoid this kind of condition. So they means that they have to make sure that there is no street noise outside the class. And then the last one is about test reliability. So the nature of the test itself may cause unreliability. The factors is about maybe how long the test is. So if the test is too long, so it will make the students feel exhausted, and when they are feeling exhausted, they will not be focused on doing the test, so it will influence the score of the test. And then other factors is about time tested. If the time is too short, means that the students have to do the test in a hurry, right? So when they are doing the test in a hurry, they may have less concentration, so it will influence the test also. And then the last one is about the poorly written test items. So it is about when they are more than one correct answer, so it will make the students confusing of choosing the right answer of the test. So it will also influence the test.
And the next is about validity. So validity itself is a test to measure what should be measured. As you can see, these are 5 types of evidence. The first one is about content-related evidence. So for example, if you are going to have listening tests, so you will study about it, not the other courses or the other tests. And it is obvious that you'll get the best scores because you have studied about it last night or whenever. Thank you.
A second form of evidence of the validity of a test may be found in what we are called criterion-related evidence, also referred to as criterion-related validity, or the extent to which the criterion of a test has actually been reached. In the case of teacher-made assessment of the classroom, criterion-related evidence is best demonstrated through a comparison of results of an assessment with results of some other measure of the same criterion. And criterion-related evidence usually falls into one or two categories. Yeah. First is concurrent, second is predictive. Concurrent means if its results are supported by other concurrent performance beyond the assessment itself. And predictive means of an assessment becomes important in the case of placement tests, admissions assessment tests, and language aptitude tests. And we are going to the third form, is construct-related evidence, commonly referred as the construct validity. Construct validity is the degree of which a test measures what if should be measured, it claims or purports to be measuring. Construct validity is the appropriateness of inferences made on the basis of observation or measurements. Specifically, whether a test measures the intended construct.
Last but not least, face validity. A test is said to have face validity if it looks as it measures what it's supposed to measure. For example, a test which pretended to measure pronunciation ability of a speaker did not require the candidate to speak might be thought to lack of face validity. So, face validity can be high if the questions have well-constructed questions, clear instruction, and etc. So from me, thank you.
Okay, the next is about the authenticity. Authenticity is a degree of correspondence of the characteristic of a given language test the feature of a target language test, and then suggests an agenda for identifying this target language rather test and for transforming them into employed and test item. In the test, authenticity may be presented in the following ways. In the first, the language in the test is as natural as possible. And the second, items are contextual rather than isolated. And the third is topic are meaningful. That means the topic are meaningful is relevant, interesting for the learner. And the third is some thematic organization to item is provided, such as a storyline or episode. And the last is about the task represent or closely approximate.
So the last is pushback. It refers to the effect of the test on instruction in terms of how students prepare for the test. So there are two kinds of pushback. First is positive pushback. It means the expected effect of the test. A test may encourage students to study more and may promote connection between the standards and instruction. And the second is negative pushback. It means the unexpected or harmful effect of the test. For example, instruction may focus too heavily on a test preparation at the expense of other activities. So that's all about pushback. Thank you. I think that's all from us.